it is time to talk about Santa Claus the movie. Oh, okay. So here's the thing. So we put this thing on last night, and it was really you that started.
This is my fault.
Yeah.
Or my treat. I don't know, depending on how you want to look at it. I saw this movie as a very young child in the theaters, I believe.
1985.
It shook me to my core and left very dark Christmas memories, so I thought I'd share them with Mike and thus you all.
So we put this thing on, we start watching it, and here's the thing. If anybody's seen Santa Claus the movie, jump down to the comment section below and type in your thoughts. What do you think of Santa Claus the movie? Do you have any story points? We'll get to that in a second. Spoiler, there is no story.
Are there story points?
There's no story to this movie. So here's the basic idea. There's a man and his family who lives somewhere in Scandinavia, Germany-ish, a nondescript location that is full of trees, snow, and there's a literal cabin in the woods.
And he's a toy maker. But in days of yore, he's it starts a very, very long time ago.
A long time ago in a galaxy not so far, far away.
Yes.
So he's there. He's with his family. I mean, there's a big family. Huge family.
Lots of cousins.
With tons of children, and they're all like, hey, give us presents. And he's like, oh, I love to give you presents, right?
Look at my beard. Wow.
Yeah, right? You can see it's right over there. A side note, if you don't know who this actor is, I didn't know who he was either. This is the guy who plays the judge at the end of the movie in the 2005 Producers movie. You know, when Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick are standing before the judge, trying to give them their, that's this guy. He's the judge. Anyway, so he and his wife get in a sleigh to go with their reindeer pulling it to a nondescript location.
We don't know where they're going.
No clue.
A blizzard. There's a blizzard.
Yeah, and there's a blizzard. The reindeer are just all right, we're done for the night. You guys can suffer through the night in the cold by yourselves. We're exhausted. So he and his wife, and they still don't have names.
No, I don't blame the reindeer in this particular situation.
I wouldn't want to continue on with this movie either if I were them.
It's true. Good point. Very good point.
So they wake up in the middle of this blizzard, and there's the Christmas star. Ba, ba, ba. And they're like, Ma, wake up. You need to see that star up above.
What's that star? It's beautiful.
It turns into this huge, massive Christmas tree. This is a hallucination. I'm pretty sure this was a fever dream. And they wake the reindeer up and they go inside of their own fever dream, which is this weird hallucination on the horizon. Aurora Borealis, it is not. Come to find out, there's all these elves?
Not a traditional elf, but lots of men wearing brightly colored, semi-matching uniforms.
They're lederhosen.
That's true. Making wooden toys.
So they surround the sleigh and say, you're the chosen one. You've come to liberate Christmas. And this guy who eventually becomes Santa Claus is like, WTF? What? And so they take them all. It's like a cult.
Yeah.
It's a cult of elves who are like, we're going to kidnap you, but it's your decision to be kidnapped. Here's the thing. You'll live forever. You're the chosen one. You're going to make toys for the rest of existence.
Forever.
And you work for us now. But it's your choice. But you work for us. This is your destiny. You have no choice.
Let's dance.
Yeah. It's insane. And then Burgess Meredith comes out of nowhere and says, oh, I'm the old wise man. This is all true. I now give you magical powers and call you, Santa Claus, that's your name. WTF.
This all happens. These are all plot points.
And then they're just like, okay, sure. Okay, great. Hey, Guess what, Santa Claus? You're never gonna see your family again. Remember all those kids, all like your wife's sisters, like your sister-in-laws, like you're never gonna see your family again.
The world is your family now, Santa. The world. Also, it's worth noting, this description takes us 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
45 minutes to get to this point. Like around minute 45, Santa, like his suit becomes red.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. There's a whole story. It's like, how about a green suit? He doesn't look good in green. How about brown? And
Not
then
his
Dudley
color.
Moore. Oh, Dudley Moore is one of the elves. Why? Because the 80s. He stands back and he's like, how about red? And then Mrs. Claus is like, that's a great color.
Matches his cheeks.
So there's no story. There's no plot. And then he just goes off and just delivers toys. There's no objective. There's no clever angle.
There's the passing of time, though.
Yeah.
But the wooden toys they're making and delivering stay the same, but the time, it passes.
Why do kids from the 1980s want toys that were popular in Germany and Scandinavia 500 years prior?
They do not.
Oh, and then one of the toys breaks because Dudley Moore has a great idea to start an assembly line. Hey, we can make more toys faster and do all this. So he comes up with the assembly. It's like a weird commentary on the evils of like corporate mass-produced.
No, it is. The manufacturing age comes to the North Pole. Like this is some assembly line, batch production. It does not go well.
So this one Christmas in the 1980s, there's like a little girl who's like riding a wooden horse with wheels on it, and one of the wheels falls off, and the child starts crying, and the father picks up the child, hugs her, and then kicks the whole thing into the curb with this shoddy production. Oh, who would produce?
That's Santa. Santa really screwed us this year.
So bad. And then we meet the villain, John Lithgow, 20 minutes before the movie's over.
Yeah. Maybe 30 minutes.
Okay. 30
maybe
minutes.
30 minutes.
30 minutes before the movie ends.
Yeah.
They introduce the villain. So John Lithgow is like this mass toy producer.
He's a toy tycoon.
He's a toy tycoon. That's the best way to put it.
Yep. He has the cigar and like the rose in his lapel.
Which at one point he rips the rose off and like tears it to pieces. Why?
Senate confirmation hearings gone wrong, or Senate hearings. It wasn't great.
This is bad. And then somehow he like magic candy canes or like elf dust gets into a lollipop production thing.
They make you fly. Elf dust makes you fly.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Okay, so that's pretty much the whole movie. Oh, and then at the very end, spoiler alert, the police come for John Lithgow.
Well, so the plot really is that Dudley Moore is spurned because his manufacturing thing didn't work. So he goes into cahoots with the toy tycoon and is like, I'll be your elf and I'll let you have the hottest gift in town, magic candy that makes you fly. Height of the crack epidemic in the country, but cool. And the toy tycoon is like, let's not talk about the money. Leave that to me. And so Dudley Moore gives all of his elf magic, like literal elf magic, to the toy tycoon.
And when she says literal like elf magic, no, it's like it's like gold dust.
Yeah.
It's like a bag full of like
dust
gold dust. That's
that
what
they
it is.
put into the candy that then makes you fly. Plot.
Mm-hmm. So at the very end, when because here, like at the point that John Lithgow finds out that what he's doing is wrong, nobody knows. They make a point to tell the audience, don't tell anybody this secret information, so nobody knows. Yeah. And then the police show up because nobody knows. They just show up, and then he eats a candy cane and he flies off, and then that's the last we see of him.
Into outer space.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, Dudley Moore, the elf, his whole quest had just been to have Santa's approval. So he helped John Lithgow, toy tycoon, to show Santa what a good elf he could be. And then he inexplicably runs away and Santa's chasing him. And then Santa saves him. I don't.
I don't know how that.
That's.
And they're all flying.
This is a terrible description, and I'm so sorry,
Yes.
but it is illustrative of the film.
Okay, so we've spent a lot of time kind of talking about what is the movie. So let's break it down a little bit. Let's talk about the acting of Santa Claus the movie. So the acting, I think it's fair to say, is not good.
It's not great.
Oh, we didn't even talk about the little pauper boy.
And Cornelia.
And Cornelia, the rich girl. We'll talk about that later.
I'm still not sure how they're central to the story. I mean, they kind of are, but...
Well, you need children in a Santa movie,
true.
I guess.
That's true. It
Like an hour and a half into the movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so the acting, while not good, it was still kind of train wreck-ishy. But like John Lithgow's portrayal of like, hey, I'm a toy tycoon, see? And he's literally doing like this 1920s like newspaper man. I'm smoking a cigar, see? It's comical. Mm-hmm. Dudley Moore, in anything that you watch, is always the same. He's always drunk Dudley Moore. And he doesn't know how to play anything. So it's... I don't know.
But it was watchable. It was like watching a train wreck.
Yes. Yeah. It's not it's unbearable in a fun way. It's not unbearable in a guys, I can't. So for those reasons, I'm giving acting a 5 out of 20. Let's talk about directing. The directing of the film is my second worst aspect. Second worst aspect? You understand what I'm talking about. It's not good. First of all, the movie this movie came out the same year as Ghostbusters.
Oh, man. Oh.
Ghostbusters. This movie looks so bad. It has this soft, like, like there are those movies in the 80s that have that soft glow to them. Like Tootsie has this kind of austere.
Yes.
All of Me with Steve Martin and Lily Tomlin has this soft glow kind of feel to it.
All great movies.
Why? First of all, why was that soft glow even a thing? That's just a bad idea. Don't put that in movies ever. So there's that. But then the pacing of the movie, like the story, of course, like that's all the writing's fault, and we'll get into that in a second.
Mike and I kept doing a time check. Like, wait, how far are we into this? Oh, there's 20 minutes left. What's happening?
Not good.
Wasn't good.
No. So, I don't know. Like, even just the art direction, everything was just like these weird... Like, Santa's workshop, by the way, it's like built by the elves, and they say, come into the workshop. This is now yours. Very cult, austere. So the workshop, while it looks beautiful, is not timely. It doesn't
look like a place you would want to spend eternity. I think we can agree on that.
With a whole bunch of men.
Who I guess also live forever. They're not like repopulating the elf species together.
I guess not.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a thing.
I don't know. Directing, I'm giving a 4 out of 20. The whole thing's just, it's a train wreck.
Generous.
It's probably generous.
Generous.
All right, let's talk about what I want to talk about. The writing. The writing of this movie was, it's bearable for one reason and one reason only. It's not that there's a coherent thought from start to finish. It's that even though stuff doesn't add up, things just don't make sense in this movie. People just accept that, hey, you're going to be Santa Claus and you're going to live forever. Okay.
Great.
Sure.
I'm in.
I buy that ticket. There is a linear, maybe not story, but like idea or thought. Like Santa Claus is a central theme. You can guarantee that whoever pitched this movie was in the studio head's office and said, boy, do I have an idea for you. Here's what's going to happen. It's the definitive story of Santa Claus. We're going to tell the whole story of how he became Santa Claus. There's a whole magical aspect to it. And then at the very end, we're going to have a whole heist.
And Dudley Moore's attached as an elf.
Oh, man. Dumb.
I give you that it was linear. It was a very long walk. Like a really get your hiking boots out. We are going for a walk.
The movie's just under 2 hours. This has no business being more than 45 minutes long. Maybe like a 30-minute special. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. This is the perfect example. How the Grinch Stole Christmas as a 25-minute short that was aired on television as like a Christmas special. Perfect length. And then Ron Howard comes along and says, hey, let's put Jim Carrey in the titular role, and we're going to draw this out for hour and a half, 2 hours, and we just invent stuff that, like, nobody ever wanted or asked for. That was this movie.
Oh, but The Grinch was so much better than this.
With Jim Carrey?
Most movies are so much better than this.
Fair. Yes. So writing is getting a 1 out of 20. It was bad.
Also generous.
Probably.
Like, there was writing. It existed. So
there were lines of dialogue that were written. It was a technical achievement. Whoever wrote this movie did more with their script than I've ever done with any one of mine, because I've never finished any of my scripts. Moving on. Let's talk about the takeaway. What are the messages of this movie? Corporate America is bad.
Santa's good.
Santa's good. Santa will always save the day.
Go to extreme lengths to win the approval of others.
Mass production is bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Magic candy is good.
When we say magic candy, we're talking about cocaine.
Or crack. Or its
crack.
cousin crack.
Yeah. Same thing.
I mean, not for
Different
us,
form.
but you know, in the movie, that was a takeaway message.
That was a takeaway message.
Crack for everyone.
In the form of elf dust, golden elf dust. So this is the kind of movie that you can literally put on for your children, 5 or younger. Oh, we just got a comment. It's true. I'll read it in a second. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, and reindeer are cute.
Yeah, I guess.
It's kind of like the reindeer.
The reindeer cared about the child Joe, and Joe cared about the reindeer.
Yeah.
While not a complete train wreck, and also it reached a 20% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not a qualifier of how good or bad the movie is. That just means how many people like the movie. 20% of all people that watch this movie who actually plugged into Rotten Tomatoes like the movie.
That's impressive. That's
1 out of 5.
Feat. When you put it that way,
1 out of 5 people like this movie. So it has merit, I guess. It's just not a good movie. So I'm giving it an 8 out of 20. Let's move to the last section. The overall effectiveness. This movie was not effective. It did not hit the mark that you can tell. Like, first of all, nobody talks about this movie. It does not have longevity. It has longevity in the sense that The Room has longevity. Yeah. It has longevity in the sense that Plan 9 from Outer Space has longevity. It has the same type of longevity that Batman and Robin has.
True.
People hate watch this movie. This did not make... I didn't look it up. I don't know how much money this movie made.
I mean, I saw it in the theaters. Maybe twice.
It's possible.
It's entirely possible.
I was alive when it came out. Maybe I saw it in theaters. I don't know. Who knows? But this is not a Christmas classic that they wanted it to be. They're trying to make it the definitive... It's called Santa Claus, the movie. Like, when Superman, the movie, came out. Oh, I didn't even talk about the Superman connection. So this was produced by Alexander Salkind, the same guy who produced Superman 1, 2, and 3. And then when Superman 3 just was a complete train wreck, he ditched the Superman franchise, sold it to Canon Films, and then Superman 4 became complete garbage and unwatchable. But Alexander Salkind ditched Superman for Supergirl and produced the Supergirl movie, which, Kim...
I can't wait to watch Supergirl. It's, like, can we please hate watch Supergirl?
Yes.
So hard.
Yes.
So ready for
Yes,
it.
please.
Also, full confession, I loved Supergirl as a little girl. So I'm also like kind of wanting to hate, like as a small child, as like an 8-year-old.
As you should.
So now I want to like watch it so I can go back and judge myself at the age of 8.
Yeah.
Seems like a reasonable thing to do.
Production company that just did not give a F. So yeah, guys, so for the overall effectiveness, woof, you're getting a 2 out of 20. 2 out of 20. So
Which also feels generous.
Probably, because this was not, it did not hit any marks. So all those scores combined bring us an overall total of... a 20 out of 100. We're giving this a 20 out of 100, which, again, to Kim's point, is more generous than it has any business being.
True. Coincidentally, the same as Rotten Tomatoes, with a bit more thoroughness to our evaluation, and
I would like to think so.
very generous.
Very generous. And hey guys, question is for you. What do you think of Santa Claus the movie? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Are you somewhere in the middle? Jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. All right, hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you like this video, click like. If you really like this video, click subscribe. And if you really, really like this video, click share. Because that is exactly what Scrooge McDuck would want you to do. DuckTales, woo!